Hi again, Leo. I'm going to make two videos on July 20th, 2026 because tomorrow I'm running errands and I discovered I need to go to the lumber store too. So we've done sanding on the seat and I don't know if you can see it and I'll try not to shake. Okay, but there's a light spot back here, right? And it comes up here and it goes across here and down this way. What you're looking at is the seat frame underneath down there. So as I'm working on this, and unfortunately this little issue is what started the whole thing of refinishing this. You see how we got this and then it goes bloop and then bloop. Well, this is dark walnut wood putty that I put in because this veneer was coming up and I got a sticker in my rump. That's not fun. But in the process of cleaning all this, I realized that I need to take the surface of this out so that I can come back with this color wood putty, which is, I believe, American Colonial is what I figured it was, and fill these spots in again. But at some point in you owning this piece, you might have to have this veneer replaced. It's 1/8 of an inch, but a lot of butts have come in and slid across the front and then sat right here. And I don't know if you can see it, but you see how it gives a little bit. Now, that's okay for somebody like me that's 140 pounds, or like your Grandpa Leo, who probably never was above 200 pounds, soaking wet with rocks in his pocket. So I know that you're going to be a bigger person. I've met you, you're a big boy. Um, Big man, growing into a big man. So tomorrow I'm going to go to the lumber store and I'm going to pick out either oak or maple and come underneath the chair, underneath where this weak spot is, this square weak spot, and reinforce it. Haven't decided if I'm going to run the board this way, here and here, or this way, here and here. I have to think about your weight dispersal. This is all stuff you'll learn as you grow up. Um, a process of doing something, managing your skill level versus the skill level needed, and learning how to compensate for an achievable goal. Um, this here, these damaged areas, I'm not gonna probably repair these until I go to my 300s grit or 500 grit sandpaper. Then right before I do that, I'll go ahead and fill in all these damage with the appropriate colored putty and reinforce it. But right now is a good time to reinforce the seat for weight. And we're going to talk about how I'm going to pick this wood. So we'll come back here and we'll use this piece of maple. Um, this is a pretty good piece of maple. So this, where the wood grain is farther apart, is a weaker spot than this area where the wood grain is closer together. That's because the dark is a tight. It how do I put this? It's like steel rods and cement. Same here, the wood grain's nice and tight. So when I go to the lumber store, I'm going to try to find something that's nice and tight so that it will last as part of the frame. And I know you're like, oh my God, you're ruining the antique value. No, I'm not ruining the antique value as much as I am increasing its heirloom value, because I want you or your dad or your mom to sit in this chair and make memories in this chair, just like the memories I have of Dad sitting on his lap in this chair. I want your dad to be able to sit in this chair and rock while he waits for you to come home from prom. I don't want it to sit in some corner like some fragile old fart, um, just collecting dust. It needs memories. Memories are what make it an heirloom. So, since we're talking about memories, I am going to tell you a memory and why I value this chair so much. I don't have a lot of memories of your great grandpa Leo, other than work, you know. But my first memories, and they're sparse. I mean, I have to be reminded all the time about this, was when I was a real little girl. And I'm talking about real little, when you just start remembering things, somewhere between 3 and 5 years old. My dad would come home at night after spending the day at the locker, and he would sit in this chair, and I'd get to sit on his lap, and we would watch the news, and I would sneak sips of beer out of his Miller beer can. He liked Miller. Maybe it was because of the girl on the front. I don't know. But that's my memory. And so when Grandpa Leo passed away, this is what I wanted more than anything. Because this was a safe place. And even now, when when people die, I've curled up in this chair and rocked. I've sat in this chair and watched TV. And you're thinking, if this chair holds such great memories, why are you giving it away? Because those memories need to go on. I'm not going to have grandkids. I already know that, and I accept it. But you might. And those memories need to go with it. Because once you sell it to an outsider, someone not part of the family, it's no longer an heirloom. It's just another antique. So, keep in mind that at some point you or someone else will probably need to replace this seat. Again, that's why I said when you get this, you might want to have something made, a pad, to put on the seat so that you can not scar up the veneer any worse than it is. And I'm going to be really careful with this veneer because it is only 1/8 of an inch. I don't want to go too deep. So you see there's still bits of shellac left on it. After it's reinforced, I might come in just in these little areas to try to catch that. Maybe not. I really have to play this by ear. When you're working with people, and you're working with delicate items, sometimes you have to just play things by ear. That's why I'm not using an electric sander, because electric sanders and vibration sanders and circular sanders, they make these tiny itty bitty little circles, especially if you're using 60, 80, or 100 grit sandpaper. And those little itty bitty circles are really, really hard to get out of wood. So sometimes you have to do things the hard way and use hand tools. And that's the other reason why I'm using a Dremel instead of, really going after it, because a Dremel is a fine detail tool. And in fact, this lovely thing is almost too big for my hand. And I learned this a long time ago when I was doing glass and metal work. And the vibrations and the strength it takes, the hand strength it takes to keep a hold of this tool really puts some damage on this middle knuckle right there where it attaches to the finger. So I went ahead and crawled up into the storage in the front porch, which used to be my shop. Yeah, right. And I went ahead and got my cable Dremel, which is right here. And you see, now I've got a good grip. My knuckle, that center knuckle, instead of laying flat, it's popping up like it should. And even if I use it like a pencil, see, it doesn't do as much. It fits my hand a little better. It's a little lighter. But there is some drawbacks. It's only attached by what? A 3-foot cable. But we got to get this hung up, maintenance it, make sure everything's working good, find the chuck. But I might show you how to use that kind of tool later. In the meantime, have a good day. Bye.